What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I have my GR Corolla right before me, and I am going to go over all the mods that I have done to this car since I bought it. And if you guys stay to the end of the video, I'm going to give you my top 3 mods that I would do on this car if I had to start all over again. Which ones would I choose and why I would choose them? I bought this car back in January of 2024, and it's been a blast to own this thing for the past year and a half. I've done a lot of work to this, and most of this work was actually done within the first 6 months of ownership, and it's made the car so much more enjoyable. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. If you guys are new here, my name is TJ, and I got a bunch of videos on this GR Corolla, so if you want to follow this build, make sure that you subscribe and also like the video because it'll help push the video out to more people, support the channel. We are creeping in on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for everybody who has been hanging in there with me. I've been having a blast on this channel, making videos for you guys, and I know I've had a ton of great feedback, so thank you to everybody who has supported me. All right, so here we go. This is my 2024 GR Corolla in Ice Cap White, and this is the premium model. I've done quite a bit of work to this car since the day that I bought it, and we're gonna go over all the mods that I have done to this car. So this video should be pretty fun since I haven't done anything like this yet. So first off, we are actually gonna go over the exterior of the car, and then we're gonna move to the interior. The first thing that's probably gonna catch your eye is this thing is lowered. I have this on the Eibach Sportline springs, which drops this about 2 inches in height, which I think personally gives it such a perfect ride height, and I don't even rub at all, which is really surprising. But to be honest with you, there is almost no gap in here, which is pretty crazy, and I don't have anything in the back seat to weigh it down. I love the way that this Eibach spring kit ended up fitting from the factory. It was really surprising me that a spring kit could get this low. I did put wheel spacers on the rear and the front. We have a 15mm on the front, and we have a 25mm on the rear, so I do think that it ended up spacing everything out really good. And guys, I have taken this to the track for the GR experience, and while I was slamming this around the track, I did not rub at all. So I just want to say, if you're doing a 20 mil and a 30 in the back, I think you probably will rub. With that being said, I actually have camber bolts in the front, and I have this tweaked to about -2 camber. If you're running like -3, probably would help a little bit more on a racetrack. -2 to -2.5, I don't rub at all. Also in the back, I did put adjustable upper and lower control arms to help be able to adjust the camber back there, because after you drop this car on lowering springs or coilovers, the car is going to sit at -2.7 degrees camber to about 3, and you just can't change that at all. I do get a lot of like inner wear on the tires if the camber isn't adjusted correctly, so that is definitely one thing you're going to burn through almost like the sidewall edge if you don't get that taken care of. All right, next on the exterior, this is actually pretty new to the past year. I did put these OEM roof racks on the car, and I do love them. I tried to do an aftermarket version at one point, and they just didn't fit. They were a horrible fitment. I ended up returning them, and I was really upset, so I ended up just getting the OEM. I found somebody on Marketplace and got a good deal, but I do think that these look really sleek on the car, and I just love how they like kind of taper around, and they're pretty aerodynamic. You guys are probably wondering if you get a lot of wind noise, and to be honest with you, I don't. I did have a snowboard rack up here for the winter that I did take off, and thus far I've just kept these on just because I don't think they look terrible, but I haven't decided of what I'm going to put on there to make this practical for the summer, or maybe I'm just going to take them off because I really haven't been using them. We have a really gorgeous wing, and this was one of the first mods that I actually did on the car, because when I first got this car, it just felt a little bit naked to me, and I needed something in the back. Being one of the first ones to get this car, and what I mean by that was, it was like the second year that this car was produced, and there really wasn't a lot of aftermarket options for this car. I feel like during the time I kind of was pioneering this car and making videos before any videos were out. There was a lot of videos that I tried to make and how-tos, and there really just wasn't other videos out there to show me how to do it, and I just had to like learn on my own and make the video, which was kind of cool, and I'm glad that I was able to help the community. We have the XSE spoiler that is from the actual regular Corolla Sport, and I do love it. The fitment is amazing, and it came painted, which was just another bonus that I didn't have to pay for anything like that. I could order it straight from my own dealership, support my dealership, and the install process actually wasn't that bad. I love how it has aerodynamic flow, and it seems like it's functional, but overall, I don't really care too much about that. I just think it looks good, and it just gives it another little edge on the back. A lot of people don't know this, but years back, before they even made this car, I thought that the Corolla looked really cool, and I always love like the sharp headlights, just the regular Sport Corolla, and I love the wings. So I had to do this just because I really liked it for years, and now I've finally had the option to do it. There are a ton of options out there of aftermarket spoilers, and to be honest with you, since I've already drilled holes in here, I can't really go back. I'm just gonna stick with it, and I do like it, but there's other stuff that I probably wouldn't be opposed to actually trying out. I think they have a lot of good options out there. So next on the list, just gonna go over real fast, but I did end up tinting the windows. That was one of the first things that I did as well. I put a certain percentage, I forget what I did on the back, but it's all ceramic, so it keeps the temperature down in the car. It just looks really good. Moving on to the back here, we have reflector lights that I did wire into the taillights, and I ended up going with the smoke version on those. I think they look really good. They were kind of just like a cheaper version, but they ended up turning out pretty well, so I wasn't too mad about them, but that was pretty cool, and I did enjoy doing that. We also have the stickers on the back that I've been meaning to take off. They are just like garbage, but I don't like them. I just left them on because I was just too lazy to take them off, to be completely honest with you. All right, now another mod that was really important to me that I wanted to do for this car was an exhaust system, and as you guys can see here, I am repping the AWE shirt today that they sent me. Got the AWE exhaust on here. This was probably one of the cooler mods that I would say that I did do to the car that really helped the performance. It helps the throttle response right off the rip, so if you do want a little bit more kick in the pedal, a little bit more throttle response and feel, just to feel connected with the car a little bit more, the exhaust is definitely the way to go. This is the touring model with the black tips, and I really do like it. Another exterior mod that you're gonna notice on the rear and the front are gonna be the mud flaps. I did end up choosing the rally armor. You do have the rock block option, and there's a couple other just like regular like universal things, but I really like how the rally armor mud flaps look. I used to have a 2009 STI hatch that looked very similar to this car, and I had the rally armors on there, and I really liked them. They're definitely practical because it keeps a lot of dirt off of the hatch, and if you have a hatchback, you know that hatches do get pretty dirty very quickly. And no, I did not delete my wiper. I ended up keeping the wiper in the back because this is my daily, and living in Pennsylvania with that really sloped hatch, actually, it's nice to be able to throw the wiper fluid on, clean that real fast. I actually forgot how many mods I had on this car. Like, I feel like I haven't even gotten to the front or anything. Like, we're just like on the side still. If you notice here with the light shining, we do have bronze wheels, and that was something that I did have powder coated just because I ended up parallel parking this car, and I did scrape one of the wheels, the black wheels. I never really liked the black, the gloss. I always thought that they should have been matte black, and I'm glad that they did that on the next generation model update refresh. That was a really good choice, and I'm happy they did that for everybody else. I'm sure all you guys with the matte black wheels are probably a lot happier than having gloss, but they look terrible with the brake dust. So I ended up powder coating these bronze, and I'm really happy about it. They're kind of dirty right now, guys, so you can't see how much they pop, but when they're clean, they look absolutely amazing. And being right here on this side, I actually ended up doing the sequential turn signals, which I think are one of my favorite mods. They look so cool. I can't see when I'm driving, but I just know that they look awesome. Let me see if I can turn this on. Yeah, those look so cool. These were really easy. They're smoked too, and I just think it's a nice touch to add on the car. I did have a video on this that showed how the OEM light only flashed to like right here, or it was like right back here, but it was just a small section that was only a 1/4 inch, and this actually utilizes the entire light, which I don't know why Toyota didn't do that to begin with. I think it would have made their light a lot better, but this actually utilizes the whole thing, and it's sequential, so you can't beat it. All right, moving over to the front of the car. Now we're finally going to get into a few things on the front of the car since we've been focusing on the side and the back, but really, there really isn't much to go over here, guys. I made a goof right here when I was installing a front lip. I vowed to myself that I was never going to bring that up in another video, but here we are, guys. There's a sticker because I drilled through the front lip. Check out that video if you really want to see how ticked off I was about that. The only mod that I really did on the front is going to be the fog lights. I did change those to amber. I think that's awesome because it just gives it that JDM look, and when you're rolling around at night or at dusk and you got those things on, it just looks mean for somebody in the rear view mirror when they're looking back and they're like, yo, what is that behind me? And the car's like super low and the fog lights are just low to the ground. You kind of can just see that the car's lowered, and it gives the car some more dimension when somebody's looking in the rear view mirror or someone's seeing your car passing by. I think that's really cool, and I love that. Not really another mod, but sticking just to the outside, I ended up putting some Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s on the car. I've ran these on pretty much all my cars, and I do love them. I think they're a very, very good high performance tire that is very affordable. So instead of doing like the Michelin tires, it's just like a fraction of the price, and they're amazing. I've tracked these tires tons of times on different cars and they always perform very good. And really what got me onto these tires was when I had my GTI and it was front wheel drive with like 330 wheel horsepower, and these tires would just catch and pick up on a front wheel drive car. And if it can do that on front wheel drive, I knew it could on all wheel drive, and it sure does. And I know those of you that follow the channel did not think that I was gonna open the hood in this video, but guess what, guys? You might have forgot there's one mod that I did in the engine bay. Actually, correct that, 2 mods. Now I just remembered that. So 2 mods that I did in the engine bay. It's kind of dusty in here. Haven't really done a whole lot. I don't know how it would have been if you had the vents on the hood and everything, how dusty it would get. Let me know in the comments down below if you have the vents on your hood, how dusty it gets in your engine bay. I'm just curious, to be honest with you. So under the hood, I ended up doing these nice gas struts. And a lot of people think that it's gonna bend your hood. Well, guess what? I've opened and closed this hood a ton of times and it hasn't bent anything at all. So you guys can either put them on or you can't. It doesn't matter to me, but I've been running these for quite a while and I think they're awesome. They don't get in the way of anything, and these actually just look OEM because they're gloss black. Now, getting into the performance side of what I did on the engine, kind of hard to see with the lighting here, but we got the engine brace, Blitz, going all the way across. And this is one of my favorite mods I've ever did on the car because it makes the car handle so much better. And you can't beat the red powder coat with the matte black finish powder coat with a little bit of texture and the logo on here. It just goes with the car perfectly. It matches everything. And again, it looks like it belongs in the car and it was supposed to be there from the factory, but that is definitely such an amazing mod. All right, guys, finally, we are moving to inside the car. I'm gonna open this up and lo and behold, the first thing you're gonna see is this crooked steering wheel because I pulled in sideways, but we have this beautiful carbon fiber steering wheel that I absolutely love. This was pretty much a must-have for me because the OEM one was pretty skinny and it kind of just looked boring in the interior. So I had to do a few things to spice it up and I'm really happy that I did. We got the red 12 o'clock, and the reason why I did that, I initially had white on here for the 12 o'clock to go with the car. I ended up changing my mind on that 12 o'clock color because I ended up doing some red seatbelts. Now, these seatbelts are from Safety Restore, so if you guys want to pick up something like this, go and check them out. I'll leave a link down in the comments. This is the Ferrari red color. I don't know what color it's kind of showing up on the camera with the lighting right now, but this red is gorgeous. It looks so amazing. It just brings so much color and pop to the car. As you can see right behind the seatbelts, I also ended up getting a carbon accent piece to go inside the cutout here of the GR Corolla seats. This was just an inlay, 3M tape, nothing crazy. I do think it was overpriced for what it is. I do think that it looks good and I'm happy that I did it. Now, I also took out my weather mats. I still run them in the winter, but I do like cloth mats in the summer. So I ended up picking these up. They were like $175 from the dealership and I'm happy that I did that just because I don't like my feet sliding around on weather mats. Now, lastly, in the interior, I have the IMT button, and this is a pretty cool mod that doesn't take very long. You can actually just go through the side panel, pop that out and put it in so I don't have to rev match every time I downshift. And guys, I daily this car, so I know people are like love-hate against this. I don't know why it's just such a big deal to most people. It's just either do it or don't. You don't have to cry about it or make a big deal about it. All right, guys, so thank you for sticking with me. Now I'm gonna give you my top 3 mods that I would definitely do again if I was starting over from scratch. So I'm gonna break down these top 3 mods into 3 categories. Number 1 is gonna be styling, number 2 is gonna be practicality, and number 3 is gonna be performance. So starting off with styling, as you guys can already see, I'm sitting in my car here, these red seatbelts. If I was doing this car all over again, this would be the absolute first mod that I would do. Every time I get in the car, it just reminds me that this is not a stock car. This is a modified car and I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's why I absolutely love these and they just look amazing in the car. So staying in the car, a lot of you guys are probably gonna not agree with this, but that's okay. My number 2 mod that I would do for practicality is, there it is, the IMT button. I'm in my 30s, I've been driving a manual transmission for 16 years, and to be honest with you, this IMT button is really nice, especially because this car is my daily driver. I'm very thankful that I don't have to hit that button every time I turn on my car. Okay, number 3 on the mods that I would definitely do if I was starting all over again would be this engine brace on the top here. Now, when I first installed this, I actually had the pleasure of installing this while the car was completely stock in ride height, and it tightened up the front end so much. If you guys ride this car in 60/40, you kind of know that it rides a little bit loose and a little bit sloppy. Well, while I did this when the ride height was stock, it tightened everything up so freaking good. It made this car feel a million times better, and I am glad that I was able to enjoy that before I dropped it, because after I dropped the car and lowered it, the handling pretty much sucked. And I wouldn't say that it was that bad, but it wasn't as good as it used to be before I dropped it. Now, I obviously did this for styling. This is not my track car. If I was gonna make this my track car, I wouldn't have dropped it that much. I probably would have just kept it OEM, or maybe dropped it like 1/2 inch to 1 inch tops, but I definitely would do this all over again because it tightens up the front end and just gets rid of that slop. And if you don't know what I mean by slop, go ahead and get this part, put it on, and you'll know exactly what I mean, because I felt a night and day difference when I was going through back roads and twisties after I installed that part. And a lot of you guys were asking whenever I installed this part, are you still able to remove the oil cap? And the answer is yes, guys. It's really easy. All you gotta do is unscrew it and you just push down a hair on this plastic trim and it comes right out. Those are all the mods that I've done to my GR Corolla since I owned the car, and the total on that price ends up being around $5,000. If you guys are unaware, I have how-to videos on basically every single part that I listed on this car. So if you guys want to learn how to install any of these parts or have any questions, go over to my page, check out those videos, type in the comments, and I'll make sure to answer all the comments that you guys leave. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for some more videos, and I'll see you in the next video.